Hello YouTube, this is Bonnie with Old Soul Mermaid with another video, and this is a continuation of my deck collection, and I'm doing this in separate videos because it would just be too long to try to do it in one or two videos. So I'm doing the videos in small chunks. I kind of try to divide my collection into categories. So today's category is whimsical tarot decks. And what I mean by whimsical, well, you'll see. So the first one on the list is the Affirmators Tarot. I know there's a lot of unboxings and deck reviews of this tarot deck by Affirmators. I'm sorry, I'm doing a brain freeze on the creator's name, but she has a bunch of affirmation decks, and they're quite good. And she did a tarot deck, and I must say, for a mass market deck, this is just beautiful. Comes in a nice textured box. It has a thumb cut out. It's not magnetic closure, but it's like a book open box. The book is just beautiful, very colorful. You get a full-length picture. Do you get it for all of them? No, not for all of them, but it's still quite a nice little book. And okay, here we go. About the author, Susie Barrett, that's right. Very good little book. And the reason why I would say this is whimsical is because, well, if you look at the cards and the illustrations and artwork, this is what I would call whimsical, aka non-threatening tarot deck. Something that you would use maybe on youths, on people who are having their first experience with tarot and maybe are a little bit apprehensive, about, delving into the woo. As you can see, this deck carries a lot of the meanings. It follows the RWS system, but it is just totally non-threatening. When I've read with this, it has delivered mostly positive messages, but it does have the capability of calling you out. It is, I haven't used it to read for anybody else. I've mainly used it on myself. But I love owls. And look at the shark. This would also be a wonderful deck if you have, those of you who have children and who read tarot and they want to get into your decks, but some of them would not be appropriate, maybe age appropriate. This one definitely would be a great youth deck. As you can see, there's nothing threatening. There's no bodies coming out of their graves, with this Judgment card. Everything is covered up. There's no nudity. I mean, these look like something a child would draw. Just very, very non-threatening, and just very, I don't want to say cute, but it is cute. It's a very cute deck. The other thing I love about this, it is well, if a youth is using it, it is very large. So, even for it covers my whole hand, as you can see. It's on the larger side, but I don't mind that too much because, you get the full spectrum of the artwork. It's fun. It is a linen card finish, cardstock, which I just love. It's textured. It feels wonderful. Those are the cute decks. And, I would have preferred it if it didn't have the name on the back. But, it's definitely not a a deal breaker for me, but this would be, I could see how, you know, a young girl, a 12-year-old would just fall in love with this deck. And I have fallen in love with it too. Brings out the 12-year-old in me. When I want a softer deck, something not as confronting, this is the one I pull. And it's just one, you know, I just love to shuffle watching TV, and I just like the feel of it, the cardstock in my hands, even though it is quite large for my small hands. So that is the Affirmators Tarot deck, and you can get this off of Amazon. I believe it's about $20. You know, the prices go up and down a little bit, but I paid around that much, though I did get it as, you know, when it was in pre-order status, and then after that they go up a little bit. But great whimsical, non-confronting deck. Great for youth, great for when you know, you need something a little bit softer. Great to use on new clients. Yeah, totally non-threatening. So the Affirmators Tarot, available on Amazon. The next one, I've done a full deck review on my channel with an unboxing and first impressions of the Playful Heart Tarot by Kitten Chops. Now this is a Kickstarter deck, and I believe there may still be some available on her website. This is the Playful Heart Tarot. At first, you know, I'm not a fan of tuck boxes. This one, I believe, is made out of recycled materials. It was printed in Taiwan for Expert Playing Card Company. I think that's one of the top printers, you know, that creators use. This is textured, recycled, beautiful artwork. You know, I wish it was a magnetic or two-part box, because, you know, this, you know, I'm afraid to use it. It was a little bit torn when I got it yeah, you know, when it was mailed to me. I have a little piece of clear tape right here. Yes, I'll be very sad when this is falling apart. And I opened it from the bottom because I wanted to keep the little seal intact. But again, this reminds me of the Affirmators. Of course, more detailed art. It's long, I think taller than a regular tarot sized card, but it's narrow, probably about the same width. So the Affirmators was quite wide and also tall, but this is narrower than that. And it also is a beautiful linen card finish. I think I go to the extremes. The linen card finish, a little bit thinner cardstock, is one of my favorites, but I also like the thicker matte rose petal cardstock of like the Dark Mansions, Light Seers Tarot. You know, I go to one extreme to the next. I don't like papery feeling decks. You know, the more they feel like paper, the less I like them. Like some of the Llewellyn cardstock, it's like, eh. But yeah, this does not come with a guidebook. It comes with a PDF, but there's a little bit, you get 2 extra cards on how to use the deck, and you know, I just love these card backings. She has her insignia here, but it's very unobtrusive. And yes, if you are into everything cute, this is a deck for you. And like I said, I've done a full walkthrough unboxing first impressions on my channel. But this is another one for, you know, if you're reading for a client for the first time who is a little bit apprehensive about the cards, getting a card reading. This is a great one for kids. there's no nudity people nudity in this deck. It's all creatures and kind of whimsical people in the deck. It's totally safe to use on younger youths. You know, there's the Tower card. You see, not quite as bad. Well, I'm not going to say bad, but you know, non-threatening. It would give a hard message gently, is what I'm saying. But what you can see, isn't that... Again, this is adorable. And it's something, you know, why we collect decks and why we have multiple decks, some of us, is because we want different decks for a different situation, for a different type of reading, for a different type of client, and sometimes just for our, look at this Emperor, just for different type of moods. So that is the Playful Heart Tarot. It is an indie Kickstarter deck. I backed the Kickstarter campaign, and I must say, this campaign was like one of the best. She must have had all her artwork done. Everything was done. Just needed to be printed because it was fast. I mean, I think the total time I waited for this deck from start to finish, including, you know, the funding period, was like 2.5 months. I don't know. It was really, really, really quick. And like my first Kickstarter deck that I ever backed was way back in May, and I just got it in December. And this one I got way ahead of that. So that's the Playful Heart Tarot by Kitten Chops. So there you go. Wonderful, wonderful deck. And I just recently did a full unboxing and first impressions of this next one, and that is the Whispering Spirits Tarot deck. Again, this one is gentle, and I use this for the whole month of January for my daily card pulls. Mostly one card, but sometimes two when there were jumpers. The book is written by, well, the deck is by Joanna Nelson, the artwork, and the guidebook is by Trish Sullivan. And it's just wonderful. It gives hard messages in a gentle way. And that's not to say that it can't give a substantial, meaningful reading just because of the whimsical nature of the artwork. Again, big deck. This deck, as you can see, covers my whole hand from almost top to bottom. Wide, not quite as wide as the Affirmators, but super tall, to where, you know, my hands will not cover it. I can barely reach that for a riffle shuffle. So, you know, I kind of do, you know, the side thing like this, or I divide it up. I divide the deck up into 2 parts and then side shuffle, and because it is kind of hard for me to overhand shuffle. This feels more like cardboard cardstock, but it's thick and substantial. It's not flimsy. So I would say compared to the other decks, it is more papery, but it is wonderful, and it's thick, substantial. It'll hold up to you riffle shufflers. It would take a bit of breaking in, though, I would say. But look at these images. Now, Joanna Nelson is right now, her sold out, unavailable the Mons Tarot, or Little Monsters Tarot, is now on Kickstarter. She's reprinting the deck with a few changes. I think the backs are going to be changed. Maybe the box is going to be changed a little bit. I'm not sure whether or not she's going to include the extra card, or it's going to be a different extra card. You know, that she had an extra card that was meant for the first edition. So there may be one that's meant for the second edition. But it's going to be minor changes, but you know. So it is going, the campaign is going right now on Kickstarter. So if you missed out like I did the first time, definitely hop on the Kickstarter and back this deck. I believe Joanna still has some of these available in her Etsy shop. That is where I purchased it. I didn't, I saw this on Kickstarter when it was on, but at the time I was backing so many decks, and you have to make those choices because, I don't have money falling from my trees. But do you see the whimsical little sweet figures in here? Again, something that would be wonderful for a youth to learn tarot on. It does follow the RWS system, but in a way it is its own thing because the artwork is so different. These little whispering spirits, origami figures are all through the deck. No blood in the Ten of Swords. No nudity. These are all creatures. There are no humans in this kind of fairy tale-ish deck. This deck will call you out on things. And like I said, I use this for the whole month of January with my daily card tarot journaling. And it was very, very right on, hit the nail on the head with things I had going on. So this is the Whispering Spirits Tarot deck, and the last I checked, it was still available on Etsy. Also, I believe she has a tier with her campaign for the Mons Tarot where you can buy both decks. The Mons Tarot, and then you can get this one too. A one-shot deal. So it is still available, but, with these kind of decks, if it's something you think you want, I would hop on it. Again, beautiful magnetic box. I think that's what she's doing for the new deck for the new iteration of the Mons Tarot. So that is the Whispering Spirits Tarot deck by Joanna Nelson and guidebook by the wonderful Trish Sullivan. So get it on Etsy or get it in addition when you back the Mons Tarot on Kickstarter right now. There's maybe 10 days left on the campaign, maybe less. So I would hop on and check that out. And the last one I have for whimsical decks, I'm talking about non-threatening, non-scary. And I just recently did an unboxing of this, How to Deal Tarot for Everyday Life. I'm going to go up a little bit so you can see the full thing. So I've done an unboxing and a full walkthrough of this in my video of what you can pick up at Urban Outfitters. And that was doing a 2-deck unboxing. But this is formerly known, this deck, as the Circo Tarot by Marissa de la Pena. And that is long gone, not available. And she's not printing it anymore, except you can find this on, I got this from my local Urban Outfitters. I saw it online, called there's 3 Urban Outfitters in my area, I believe. And I found it at one. They had several of them when I got it, and it is totally packaged different. Mass market. Now the book is written by Sammy Main. It's not written by Marissa de la Pena. This is, like I said, I've gone through all this, what you get. But this, when Marissa de la Pena did the mass market version, she changed some cards. There's no nudity, like I believe in a few cards of the original there was. And it comes in a 2-part box within a box. And again, beautiful backs. This was meant, and I put this in order, oh yeah, for my video. But this cardstock is a beautiful rose color finish that's not too thick. It is wonderful to have this in your hands. It is buttery, smooth, and soft. And just going through the images, you can tell that there are humanoid, but not humans, you know, typical humans per se. They're all whimsical creatures, whimsical illustrations in these cards, because the creator does have a thing about inclusiveness. Also, she has a platform about heritage, about, you know, carelessly using another culture's rituals and things, you know, not being respectful of them. She has a platform all about that. But as you can see, this is another great deck for, well, there's a tower, so it's, you know, with the flames and everything. At least there's no people falling out. But something for a youth to learn on, something that you can read for a client who is kind of wary of the woo. That's a tongue twister, wary of the woo. This judgment card, though, I still have a hard time with it a little bit in readings. The world, you can see beautiful, beautiful, and I should bring this down so you can see. Beautiful, beautiful coloring, artwork, follows the RWS system pretty much, and yeah, as you can see, humanoid figures, creatures, animals, even, you know, pips, a little bit of everything in this deck. And it's this deck is not a lightweight deck, despite its whimsical imagery. It is not a lightweight deck. Now, the guidebook, How to Deal Tarot for Everyday Life by Sammy Main, and Sammy Main is quite young. So the guidebook, you can buy the guidebook by itself on Amazon, or find it at your local bookstore, and it's more normal book size. They made it a little more narrow to fit the box. But yeah, this is available on its own, but it's great because you get the full color images, but the you just get a paragraph basically for the meanings, and they're very, like I said, my unboxing video, more towards the younger, a little more juvenile, very, 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 very basic. That's why I said this would be great for a youngster to learn. You know, a 12-year-old, somebody who's, you know, one of your children who wants to get into your deck collection, but it is, some of the decks might not be age appropriate because of the illustrations, depending on what you're, you know, what you want your kids exposed to. You know, some people don't mind. Some people, you know, would say, okay, you know, at 16 you can be exposed to nudity or whatnot. Everybody's different. I will say about this book, it does have some journaling pages, which is great for you know, a teenager. So this is the formerly known as the Circo Tarot. Not available anymore, but I think you can still find this at local Urban Outfitters. And like I said in my video, Urban Outfitters is not, oops, forgetting the wrong side, not a business I feel good about supporting. And I haven't. This was the second time I've been in an Urban Outfitters in my life. One time when my daughter was a teenager, she got a gift card from somebody, so we took her in, and then because I had to have this deck, and unless they get some other hard to get deck, I probably won't be going in there again. So, you know, we all have our scruples and things, businesses we feel, you know, a lot of people have an issue with Amazon. I have Amazon Prime because I love the movies. I'm a big movie buff, and because you can get the tarot, some mass market tarot decks much cheaper than you can in a bookstore, and I feel conflicted about that. But I do, you know, I want to increase my tarot collection. You know, there's things that I want, and you know, when things are priced at a $10 difference, you know, it's like it's not really a choice for me. I have we're paying bills for, well, two of my older kids have graduated college, but we're stuck with some of the bills, and I have another one going through college. So, you know, I recycle. I try to support ethical clothing companies. Fabric, I sew, so I try to support. I pay a little more for my fabric to make sure it's ethically produced and not produced in a sweatshop. Little things that we do. So you know, I don't want to get preachy on what business I support and who you support, and we all do what we can. If it's one or two things, you know, we all, you know, choose how we purchase, but it should be mindful. It's and that's the bottom line. We should know, you know, the consequences of our purchases. That's all I'm saying. But okay, those were my whimsical decks. These are decks for non-threatening decks, but for me, I found that each and every one, despite their cuteness, the artwork, you know, the cutesy artwork, they have given me substantial readings, just like any other card deck. And what I would like to know, and what I would like to hear in the comments below, is if you have any of these decks or another whimsical or, you know, cutesy deck, what kind of readings are you getting out of them? Would you use them to read for a client? Do you use them, you know, do you use them for just yourself when you need a softer deck? Do you think that they, because of their nature, that they're that they don't have the ability to have to give a substantial reading? Let me know in the comments what you think. I would really like to know your opinions. I'm a new channel, and I would really, if you found any value to this video, hit subscribe and like. And my subscribers that I'm getting, I value you. I know time is precious, so thank you for taking the, you know, your precious time out of your day to watch, you know, one of my videos. It means the world. So I'm going to be back. Actually, I'm going to be filming another video right now. So have a wonderful day, y'all, and I will see you very soon.